Welcome everyone to Wake Up and Smell the Dice. The cloudy day has created a nice inability to see my face, so bear with me. This is my morning vlog series where I talk about gaming in the world, in my personal gaming life, and in our community, and just kind of whatever. So starting with the bigger picture, gaming in the world. In the world of D&D, Wizards of the Coast this last week released a new article in a new column for Dungeon Masters. Hopefully it'll be weekly. I think it's called Behind the Screen, something along those lines. It will be written by members of their staff, guest Dungeon Masters, and so on. I'll put a link in the description to the first article, but this is really the first for DMs only column that we've had since, at least that I've seen, since Chris Perkins did the Dungeon Master Experience series, which was phenomenal if you haven't seen that. But this new one's really good too. In the first article, I think it was Rodney Thompson, who's great, but I think he wrote the first one, and I already picked up a new trick for prep, something I think he calls interludes. I've just never prepped for something like that, and so I'm excited to try that out actually tonight. So in their world, they started that new column a couple weeks ago. They started pumping the new line, which is Elemental Evil. I want to say that there's a board game. There's a book coming out that is, I believe, like their Temple of Elemental Evil remake, probably for the Encounters program, or whatever they're calling that now, and then a line of miniatures, which I'm excited to get my hands on some of those. So that's what they're doing at Wizards of the Coast. Now, my personal gaming world, as I said, I'm running a game tonight. It's D&D in Air. That's my 4th edition campaign. They're level 10. They will probably only, well, they may gain just a couple more levels before this one wraps up, because they're in the final story arc of that one, and it's getting exciting. So tonight they will come face to face with an old ally who they didn't really let him die, but he's under that impression, and he struck a pact with a very powerful fiend, and he's back. So we left off last session with them face to face about to fight him, so it picks up pretty quickly tonight. Once that one wraps up, I will be starting in a D&D, well, I'll be DMing a D&D 5e game in Candelure, my new setting. And so I've been working on that a lot. If you follow me at all on Facebook or even on YouTube, I put up a video about how I revised the map again. So my second revision leading to my third map. And I like this one a lot more for a lot of reasons. If you watch to the end of this video, you'll get a link to the map video, and I think it's an interesting watch just to see how maps can evolve, and you can at least see my thought process on it anyways. So I've been heavily working on that setting, started a local area map that I hope to put in a video soon. It zooms into about a 50-mile diameter, centered around the starting city of the campaign. And area maps, or those local area maps, are a ton of fun. A lot of inspiration comes from those. So that's what I've been working on for the new setting. In the community, like I said, I put up the map video. What else? I had a couple in mind. Fistful of Dice is doing the Lore of Erenoth series, which I will link to. It's amazing. It's a look into the lore of one of his settings, the setting I believe that the Provokers campaign is set in. So you have to see that. And then another one that I wanted to spotlight is DBJ. He has, well, everything he puts out is great. I likened him to Ander from Wood WWAD. Very similar in just how everything that they preach is pretty much gold. But DBJ has a really good new series called Narrative Secrets, where he tells you his kind of tricks of the trade, things that you can do. And not only does he give good advice and give you good tips and tricks, he gives you good examples of how he uses those or how you could use those. And so you don't want to miss that series or any of those videos. So I will link to his as well in the description. But other than that, there's a ton of games going on over at the Tabletop RPG One Shot group on Facebook. I think there was something like, I think I saw a post where there's like 30 or something. There were just a ton ready, like scheduled to play. And over the past week or two, I've gotten a couple of personal invites actually to games that sound like they're going to be a ton of fun. So I can't wait until those start. But those, I think, are going to be later this spring, early summer. There's a lot of planning going into some of them, I know. But fun groups of people, definitely, that are going to be ready for those games. And then I still want to run games. Like I said, my goal is to run D&D 5e in the 4e setting of the Nenter Vale, because I've got a lot of fun modules that I kind of want to tear apart and remake. So as soon as I get one of those kind of converted over to 5e, I will post that up and get a game going. So that's kind of what's going on in the community, in my personal gaming, and in the wider world of Wizards of the Coast. So thank you for joining me for Wake Up and Smell the Dice. And I hope you have a lot of gaming this week. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.